Hello everyone, English learners. I hope you're doing great. Today I'm going to share with you how to use the verb suggest in different sentences correctly and grammatically. I know this verb seems easy at the beginning, but when it comes to using it correctly in different sentences, there will be some challenges. First of all, let's look at how we pronounce it. So the American pronunciation is suggest. Suggest. So there is g sound which is not released. G sound, okay? Suggest, but we don't release it. Suggest, suggest. All right. And the noun is suggestion, suggestion. All right. So, but the British pronunciation is a little bit different and a little easier because it doesn't have the g sound in the middle. We say suggest, suggest, or suggestion for noun. Okay? Suggestion. Now we've got loads to talk about in terms of the usage of this verb in context. So let's jump right in. First of all, let's look at this structure. Number one, I suggest that you accept the offer. Okay? Do not use me, us, you, etc. as indirect object pronoun after suggest. For example, we never say that I suggest you to accept the offer. It's totally wrong. Okay? We don't say I suggest you to or I suggest you. I suggest that you accept the offer. We use a that clause after the verb suggest. A that clause. Look at this example. Her brother suggests that she study harder so she can get into a good university. The question is, shouldn't be she studies? The answer is no. This is what makes the English verb suggest different from other verbs. Okay, so the point to bear in mind here in this structure is that the verb in the that clause is the subjunctive form. It means that it transforms to its base form, or British say bare infinitive, like the infinitive without to. Okay, let's look at another example. I suggested that she be Queen Elsa from Frozen for Halloween. I suggested that she be. All right, this is correct. Now, tip number one. You don't need to include that in the sentences. It is still a that clause. It means even without that, we can make a that clause. That is optional. For example, we can read the first example like that. Her brother suggests that she study harder, or I suggest that she be Queen Elsa. Blah, blah, blah. All right? So, tip number two says, make the that clause negative by adding not in front of the verb. Like this, the teacher suggests we not waste time playing video games after school. Be careful, do not say the teacher suggests us not to waste time. It's totally wrong. So we say the negative form of a that clause with subjunctive form by adding just not, okay, after suggest. The teacher suggests we not waste time playing video games after school. Remember, the structure is like this. You suggest that someone do something, not does. Okay? The next two structures in which we can use the verb suggest are easier to understand and digest. Number two, we suggest that going for a walk together. Suggest doing something. Easy as it seems, suggest plus gerund phrase. And gerund is a verb plus ing. We do not use the infinitive phrase at all. You do not say, for example, I suggest you to go, but it's correct if I say I suggest going or I suggest you going, okay? So now let's read the first example. I suggest having a video call instead of meeting face to face. Okay, that's correct. Her brother suggests studying harder so she can go into a good university. So this is the same example from the last or the previous model, but we just changed it to using a gerund phrase in the sentence. Suggest studying harder. My doctor suggests eating less and exercising more. Okay, that was the second model, and the third model is suggest an idea for a grammar lesson. Also suggest a noun or plus a noun phrase. Suggest something. Suggest plus a noun phrase is like, can you suggest a fun activity to do in summer? I can suggest some hotels in Spain. Suggest hotels. Fun activities. Noun or a noun phrase. I love this movie and I will suggest it to everyone. All right. So within these three models, you can use suggest. For the first one, you need to focus more and make more model sentences, examples, and practice it and compare it with the model. I hope you like this lesson and I hope you will never ever have any problem with using this word, and see you in the next lesson.